You don't hate people. You don't hate conversation. You just feel a tightness in your chest when the phone starts ringing. You watch it vibrate, you wait for it to stop, and only then do you breathe again. You tell yourself, I'll call back later, but later rarely comes. This is the paradox. The very behavior that protects your peace is also shrinking your world. This video isn't about laziness, rudeness, or being bad at communication. It's about the psychology behind why live conversations feel threatening to some minds. What's really happening in the brain psychology links phone call avoidance to anticipatory anxiety, the fear of not knowing what's coming next. Unlike texts, phone calls are unscripted, immediate, emotionally exposing. There is no pause button, no time to edit, no control over silence. For many people, this activates hypervigilance, a nervous system trained to scan for danger. The brain enters a mild fight or flight response, even though nothing bad is actually happening. Another key factor is cognitive load. Phone calls demand real-time processing, emotional regulation, verbal clarity. For overthinkers and deep processors, this is exhausting. Texting feels safe because it gives control. Calling feels risky because it removes it. The emotional cost, no one talks about. Over time, avoiding phone calls creates a quiet emotional pattern. You become the person who replies late, misses opportunities, lets relationships fade unintentionally, not because you don't care, but because caring feels overwhelming. Carl Jung once wrote that anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. Phone calls represent freedom, but also exposure. To speak live is to be seen as you are, not as you've edited yourself to be. And that's the real fear. Not conversation, but visibility. How this shows up in adult life. You might recognize yourself here. You rehearse conversations before they happen. You feel drained after short calls. You prefer voice notes over live talking. You fear awkward pauses more than conflict. You delay calls even with people you love. You feel misunderstood but avoid clarifying. These are coping strategies, not flaws. Your nervous system learned that silence equals safety. Unlearning without forcing yourself. Healing doesn't mean suddenly loving phone calls. It means learning tolerance, not pressure. Start by noticing, what exactly are you afraid of? Being judged, interrupted, saying the wrong thing? Then gently rebuild safety. Short calls, trusted people, clear boundaries. The goal isn't to become louder. It's to become calmer while being heard. A final truth: people who avoid phone calls are often emotionally intelligent, deeply thoughtful, highly sensitive to tone and energy. They don't avoid connection. They avoid emotional chaos. But connection doesn't require perfection, only presence. And presence is something you can learn slowly, safely, in your own time. You are not broken, you adapted. And adaptation can always be rewritten.